In my previous episode, I talked about what graduate students' depression look like or feels like, as well as the common symptoms. I also covered why graduate students get depressed and several other reasons why that happens. In this episode, I will share tips to overcome and prevent depression during your graduate studies. How can you overcome and prevent depression during your graduate studies? I want to share 5 tips that I hope will help you identify, combat feelings of depression that you may experience as a graduate student. The tips are based on my experience and observation, and they are not a diagnosis. My tips are not in place of a medical doctor. Tip number 1, be aware of the symptoms. A major part of preventing depression from consuming you is knowing what it looks like. It can be identified. It can look like sadness, exhaustion, irritation, anger, lack of motivation, or a mixture of these. It basically turns you into a different person. Being aware of the symptoms encourages realization and the automatic response of looking for a solution. Being pressured by academic deadlines and trying to meet the program expectations is stressful and can overwhelm you. Having a clear awareness of your emotional state will get you on a path away from depression. Tip number 2, take a break. Not taking a break is a common contributor to depression. It is understandable that graduate students want to just keep going without stopping because they want to make sure they have enough time to complete everything that is required by the program. It is okay to keep on going, but not to the point where you burn out. Burning the midnight oil is destructive when it is done excessively. Our bodies need to rest and recuperate. The same goes for our mental health and emotional well-being. Take a break when you need to and do something, whether it is catching up on sleep, taking a walk in the park, or going away for a weekend. That will recharge you. I enjoy a staycation by the beach, taking a hot bath, playing tennis, binge watching Korean drama, and listening the music I love, and immersing myself in a novel to get away from my stressful career life. Tip number 3, don't ignore it. You have to recognize the existence of something to be able to do something about it. Ignore how you feel will just magnify the negative feelings. Before you know it, it becomes a massive part of your daily life. You need to pay attention to your feelings in order to face them and walk through them. You might ignore and let it fester because you think you can't afford to take care of it. Check with your university's health clinic. Many universities offer counseling services for free or at a reduced cost. Also, ask your advisor or fellow students for advice. Not paying attention to your feelings can bring you a more significant negative effect and will only hinder your progress even more. If you are feeling empty, unmotivated, emotionally and mentally tired, or wanting to give up, don't ignore it. Talk to someone or do something good that will make you feel better. For instance, if I feel overwhelmed at work, I watch funny videos to make myself laugh out loud. When you do something to make yourself smile, it can lift your mood and give you a better look. Tip number 4, Don't try to overcome it by yourself. It is a misconception that you can overcome depression with your own strengths. While you might be able to get through the early stages of depression on your own, it is certainly not the case if you are already in the moderate or severe end of the spectrum. You need people who can understand and empathize with what you are going through. Part of the reason why I encourage my students to join a study or support group is so they can give each other support not only academically but also emotionally and mentally. Don't be ashamed to seek professional help if you need to. Many universities, as I mentioned, provide free counseling services. If you think you are experiencing moderate or severe depression, you might need medical intervention. Take benefit of these services. Seeing a licensed professional counselor is not a show of weakness. It actually shows how much you value your mental health. Tip number 5, re-establish your drive. You didn't choose to pursue a higher degree on a whim. You had a strong desire to learn about your field of study that drives you to go through years of tedious studying. However, it is very easy to lose sight of this drive when you are bombarded with multiple deadlines and the instincts to survive through the program. When you lose your drive, it is important to go back to the drawing table and remind yourself of the main reason why you are in your graduate school in the first place. I suggest doing this kind of routine checkup of your goals and the reasons why you are pursuing your advanced degree. Post them on your wall or leave notes around your rooms as a reminder. Post words of affirmation. Regardless where you are in your graduate program, don't forget to do a positive self-talk on a regular basis, ideally every day. Slipping into a depression is like a treading on thin ice. It is very dark and dangerous place to be, whether you are a graduate student or not. If left unattended, it can and will consume your very being. The moment you feel the symptoms, remember to take a break and acknowledge it and ask for help if you need to, and do something to re-establish your drive. Being in a graduate school already makes you prone to mental and emotional difficulties. Take the right measures to secure your emotional and mental health because you need to be stable in order to make through graduate school. Some of you might have gone through depression and overcame it. Please share your experience or tips to overcome depression in the comment section below. A few minutes of your time sharing the tips can help someone else. If the content I covered today was beneficial to you, and please like this video and subscribe to this channel. As always, thank you so much for watching.